Earn a consistent income betting on sports. Chris here from the most ethical and transparent handicapping service, EquitySportsAnalytics.com. We're math nerds and we're evening the playing field for you versus the sports books. We're talking UFC 268. We have 6 best bets for you for all of our plays on this card and many more. Check out our website. Let's get into the first fight. We got Melsik Baghdasaryan versus Bruno Souza. Bruno Souza is the featherweight LFA champion. Melsik Baghdasaryan is a kickboxer. Souza's a karate guy, so this is 2 strikers. We think that the odds for fight does not go to decision are great EV. You're getting a 2.00. Bruno Souza is looking to impress. He's getting this chance, and he wants to show Dana White that he can finish and he can be aggressive. Melsik Baghdasaryan is a killer. We think this fight is going to finish about 58% of the time, and we're getting 50% implied odds. So we are in. Next fight, we have Gian Villante versus Chris Barnett. A lot of the experts are talking about how they won't bet on this fight because it's 2 low-level guys, and then anything can happen. But we think that that's confirmation bias towards something like that. Conor McGregor broke his leg, his ankle snapped. If Gian Villante did that in this fight, people would say anything can happen. It's too crazy, too low level, anything happens. But it can happen in any fight. In fighting, anything happens. So Villante is our pick. We want to move in here. We don't care whether it's darts, dog shows, or 2-man luge. We're going to bet on it if the analytics say we should, if we're getting good value, positive EV. So Villante beat Ed Herman. He got a split decision with Sam Alvey, and he pretty much beat Maurice Green. He gassed out late in the third round. Maurice Green got some kind of a unique choke on him that because Villante was gassed out. But pretty much these guys, if you take them who Villante has either beaten or been in close fights with, they would be favored by a lot more versus Chris Barnett. So we can get Gian Villante at 1.80, and we think that he's great positive EV here. Alex Pereira versus Andreas Michailidis. So Pereira is the kickboxer. He's the only guy that knocked out Israel Adesanya. We got Andreas Michailidis, who is sort of an all-around, slightly below average UFC guy. People think that he might be able to, his path to victory here is possibly taking Pereira down, using his jiu-jitsu, using his wrestling. Pereira is very one-dimensional. We think that whoever gets this gets their game off here is going to look like a 5-1 favorite. So Michailidis could fake the takedowns, could fake trying to get this to the ground and box up Alex Pereira, or Pereira could just dominate with his kickboxing and have decent takedown defense. Either way, we think that the 1.57, which is a 63%. We just need to hit this 63% of the time. The fight does not go to decision. We think it's going to happen 70+% of the time. So you can get this fight does not go to decision at 1.57 at most of the books. Pereira, Michailidis. Number 4, we have Billy Quarantillo versus Shane Burgos. This is going to be a war. Shane Burgos has traditionally one of the best chins of all time. Billy Q just fought a war with Gabriel Benitez. Billy Q took damage in that fight. Gabriel Benitez almost knocked him out in the 3rd round. Burgos, of course, has been through war after war. Last fight was maybe the scariest knockout anyone's ever seen, where his brain had to reboot. It didn't tell him that he was knocked out, and then about 3 seconds later, he fell backwards. We think that there's a long line of fighters, including people like Kama Worthy, Dan Hooker, Marlon Moraes, Ryan Spann, Impa Kasanage, the list goes on, that once their chin gets compromised or once they fight in a war and they don't necessarily get knocked out, the next fight they just all of a sudden fall off a cliff. We think Burgos is coming to that point. Fight does not go to decision is our play here. We have 3 fights do not go to decision on our best bets here. and we think that that's going to happen. We have a 2.00 odds, which is a 50% implied odds. We think it's upwards of 58-60% that this fight won't go to decision. This is going to be a war, folks. Rose Namajunas, champion, strawweight champion, versus Weili Zhang. This is the second fight. Of course, Namajunas got that spectacular knockout in the first 2 minutes versus Zhang. We're handicapping this the way we first did. We think in a 5-round fight, we don't think there's going to be a finish at all or until late, that Weili Zhang will be able to wear down Namajunas. We know that Andreas did that in their 3-round fight, where Namajunas lost the 3rd round badly and started to take damage, started to gas out. We know that Weili Zhang has changed fight camps and that she's very motivated. She was coming over from China and was not acclimatized at their first fight in Jacksonville. Now she's in Arizona and she's under North American. She's in a North American fight camp, and she's going to be more ready. She has one of the best work ethics in the game, and we think Weili Zhang is going to take her title back. You can get her at around even odds, 1.91 at most of the books. Namajunas opened as the favorite. Weili Zhang has become the betting favorite and probably will be favorite by fight time, and we think that's right. Take Weili Zhang to get her title back. Last but not least, our safest 2 on the card according to our analytics, the 20 books that we look at, we think that they are telling us that Dustin Jacoby and Melsik Baghdasaryan are the 2 fighters that they least want to take money from. You can get them if you combine them at odds of 1.78, and we think that is your 2 safest fighters on the card for our parlay of the week. Keep those unit sizes small, folks. 1 to 3% of your bankroll. No fight, no game is worth very much. We're in a long-term war. And always remember that friends don't let friends gamble without math. See you next time, and enjoy UFC 268.